Welcome. This is RiaTalk for real people, where we're always keeping it real about real life. And here's your host, Maria.
Hola. Ciao. Benvenuti. Welcome to Real Talk for real people. Let's talk.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's discuss. Let's debrief. What are we talking about tonight?
We're going to discuss the 7 things that destroy relationships.
Okay.
And there are many reasons why relationships are destroyed, but there are 7 that are the top 7. Number 1 would be lack of communication. 2, trust issues. 3, neglect. Number 4 is unresolved conflict, jealousy. Number 6, lack of empathy. And number 7, infidelity. You may wonder why I named those out, because sometimes people, when they're listening to the podcast, they may be taking notes. I know when I'm listening to a program, oftentimes I take notes, and I be hoping that the facilitator or the moderator or somebody will enumerate to me what they're saying, so I can remember it. This how, if you organize something, the brain can remember it easier. So what I was thinking about is to define these things. Like, people always, when you talk about relationship problems, the number one you hear people like, it's a lack of communication. It's a lack of communication. Well, let me ask you something. What does that mean? What does lack of communication mean to you, Missy?
I thought that was a rhetorical question.
Not really, but if you wanted to be, I would move on.
Lack of communication, I mean, that's so broad. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, give me a broad answer then.
Not talking. Lack of communication.
Right. It's not talking. That is one. You're right. You're right on point, pretty much. Lack of communication. But see, effective communication is the lifeblood of any healthy relationship. And when you break it down, misunderstandings festers and emotions run high. And you say, okay, if you say lack of communication, as George Bernard Shaw once stated, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that you are communicating, that communication is taking place. People often feel that they're being understood, when in fact you don't know what did he say. Sometimes when people are trying to communicate, I want to tell you this, it is up to the person who has a message to properly communicate the person they're communicating with, whose the information is for. So when you say lack of communication, that means, okay, what does that mean? That means, are we talking? Are we on the same sheet of music? Do you understand when I say I need love? I'm communicating to you that I'm bored. And maybe the other person don't understand. They think everything's okay. Oh, she's just saying that. What does it mean to you to be bored? I'm tired of just sitting around the house watching TV. Now, sir, I'm going to need you to take me out sometime to dinner at a nice restaurant. I'm communicating this to you. When I'm saying I'm bored, I'm going to give you some examples of what I need. This is communication, because sometimes you have to be specific. I think the more specific you are about an issue, the better you communicate. You can say, I'm sad. What does that mean you're sad? I'm unhappy. something is bothering me, making me feel upset in a negative space. Not as in a violent way, but in a way that makes me want to cry. That's what I think about when I say I'm sad. So that's about communications, being more specific, explaining yourself. And then if you say that is the number one, trust issues. When you say trust issues, you're talking about usually when someone has betrayed your trust. They betrayed the relationship. Okay? And you say, how is that done? You know, like you said, betrayal in a relationship, many people think it's sexual in nature. And it can be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be sexual in nature. There can be emotional trust issues. You can have trust issues. Sometimes the spouse is not, your partner is not the cause of your trust issue. You may have grown up with people who said one thing and did another. People that you trusted to keep your secrets, to keep your confidence, they did not do it. Your parents did not protect you. So you don't trust people. You don't trust adults. Or you don't trust people in general because people don't keep their word. This is what causes trust issues. When you say when you marry somebody, to love and to cherish, and to that person only, will you be betrothed? But you go out and have emotional relationships, sexual relationship. We're so used to people talking about sexual relationship, but people get to have emotional relationship too. And Stephen Covey once said, trust is the glue of life. It is the most essential ingredient in effective communication.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but can you talk into the mic? I'm catching an echo.
I don't know how to talk into the mic unless I climb into it. I'm right up on it.
Just looking forward.
Okay. Anywho, I'm going to talk into the mic as best I can without jumping into the screen, okay?
Thank you.
Anyway, number 3 is neglect. Neglect means not being cared for. Albert Einstein's words resonate. He said, out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulties, there's opportunity. When you feel neglected, whether due to work, sometimes you can have a partner that's working all the time, or you may have a partner that's like to be on the computer all the time. Me, myself, and I, more and more with all these gadgets, information gadgets like iPhones, Samsung, iPads, all these, and then you got YouTube, you got Instagram, TikTok, any other twisters, Twitter. You talking to everybody but your spouse. So they feel, what do they feel? Neglected. That means you're not giving them enough attention. Anything would die. If you don't give a plant attention, it will die. If you don't give your car attention, it will break down on you. You have to listen to your car when you're driving it to see if something's going wrong. You know how it normally sounds. If you don't know how your car normally sounds, you won't know it's getting ready to say, bye, boy, bye. I'm out. Because I needed an oil change. I needed oil. First of all, you could have done the car a favor by washing me more often. So now I need a new paint job. Neglect. You need to give the things you love, especially your partner, attention. All right, we're moving right along. Unresolved conflict. This is so common in a relationship. Some people, like I'm one of these type of people. If I'm in conflict with you, I'm going to speak with you, especially if I love you. I really want to tell you how I feel, what's bothering me. I don't want anything to be between us, unresolved conflict. I don't want that. So I'm going to talk with you. And after I speak with you, you had your say, I had my say, I let it go. But there are a lot of people, they don't know how to let go. So they keep, what is that word? When they just keep it in their heart.
Harbor?
They just keep harboring. It become a grudge. Then they start feeling bitter, like they don't like you. I know many married people that pretty much, I would almost say, hate each other. But for whatever reason, they're still married because there are unresolved conflict. And now we're going to move on to the numbers. The fifth thing, jealousy. Every time I hear the word jealousy, I try to be careful with that word. Because in the Bible, God said, I am a jealous God. I will have no other God before me. So jealousy can be good and it can be bad. Okay, is when you feel the bad part of jealousy, when you feel insecure. You think everybody wants your man. I've seen some women, especially when I'm growing up, the older women, you would be very jealous of young women. Women are still like that today. You see a woman, you may have gotten in your 40s and 50s and 60s. I even seen it in 70 years old lady. They see young people, they toot up their nose and talk about them. Go, oh, I dress too short. Oh, look at those days to do. Girl, how about when you were wearing whatever they called to do in your time? Hot pants gonna make you dance, whatever you were wearing, but you had your time. So you gotta rejoice that these young people are having their opportunity to have self-expression and encourage that self-expression. Because when they get older, they will not be able to do that anymore. They won't have the body for it, for one thing. Oh, they won't have the energy for it. So you gotta curb, like I say, curb your enthusiasm, curb that jealousy. When that jealousy is negative, stop it. Say to yourself, what's wrong with me feeling insecure? I know who I am. He married me. One girl told me one time, she called me and told me she was attracted to my husband. And I'm gonna make this short. And she said, in the end of the conversation, when I didn't react like she wanted me to, she said, what's wrong with you? You didn't hear me? I said, I want your man. I said, at that time, my daughters were 1 and 2. I said to her, I said, I don't need to respond to you. I know you love him or you like him. I love and like him too, but guess what? I got the paperwork and I got what he likes the most, his children. So, girl, you're gonna have to climb up on the rough side of the mountain to get my man. But if he wants you, you can have him. Because that means he's not worthy of a queen like me to want crumbs like you. Moving on. Now, I believe I'm at number 6, because the last part is a doozy. Lack of empathy. We all need to cultivate empathy. People often get compassion confused with empathy. For your spouse, and sometimes I'm saying relationship, but this, what I'm saying, can also apply to non-sexual, non-people that live in your household. It could be friendship, it could be your work friends. Some of these same, if not most all, except for the sexual part, applies to relationships. So here we are. Lack of empathy. We talked about that. That was number 6, right? You must show more than compassion. Put yourself in somebody else's place. What if it was you? It's just like when the book was written, A Time to Kill, and they were having the man on trial, and he was I was wondering, was it To Kill a Mockingbird or A Time to Kill?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird. He said, close your eyes. Imagine your little 4 or 5-year-old girl walking down the street with her little blonde hair blowing in the wind, blue eyes, skipping, innocent. And she's almost home. And a bunch of 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old men grab her, put her in the bushes, and rape her, molest her. And they did. The people imagine the horror that that child had to feel. And he was convicted. That was empathy. That was empathy. Imagine as if that was your child. The last thing is infidelity. When we talk about infidelity, whether it's emotional or physical, and it is one of the most devastating relationship destroyers. As Oscar Wilde pointed out, the heart was made to be broken, so he says in his joking way. However, this does not excuse betraying the trust of your partner. See, that's what infidelity is, betraying a trust. Infidelity shatters the whole foundation of your relationship. That's a friendship you confide in your friend, your office mate, something dear to your heart you shared. And next thing you know, the whole office knows your business. Now, most of us would never in this life have anything else to do with that person once we dry our eyes and blow our nose with the snot in it and the pain of it. Some people may take them 4 hours, but for a person like me, it's going to take a whole week. Once you get over that, you're never going to be friends with that person again, even if you even speak to that person. Because what did you do? Infidelity. You betrayed the trust of your friend, of your partner, of your spouse. It can be sexual infidelity, but it can be emotional infidelity too. Infidelity shatters the foundation of a relationship, and the pain it causes is insurmountable. I was trying to think about, make it simple. And I started thinking about the ABCs of relationships. Apply. A is for apply. B, basic. C, care, compassion, communication, and common courtesy. See, that's what people forget about too. Common courtesy.
Sorry, we missed that last part. You said what?
Common courtesy, manners, etiquette. When we're in the office or when we're amongst strangers, we show them our best. But when we're amongst our intimate relationship, whether it's a close friend, family, I know you can let your hair down sometimes, but I also give them, I used to hear my grandmama say, you treat strangers better than you treat your own family. She used to get on her children when they were being ugly to each other. You treat strangers better than you treat your spouse. Do you say thank you and please and I appreciate you to your spouse like you tell your friends at work when they bring you something, no matter how small the gift? Do you occasionally bring your spouse a gift for no reason? It's not anniversary, it's not birthday. I brought you this gift because I was thinking about you. And I knew you would like this gift. And I really wanted to make you smile. You don't want to make the people at the office smile. Make your partner smile sometimes. Make your spouse smile. Just like my grandmama said. I don't have to say make your friends smile, because most of the time, that's how you keep your friendship. Because you treat strangers better than you treat your own family. Better than you treat your own husband. Better than you treat your own wife. Even Ray Charles, you see that? Or Helen Keller. can hear. Helen Keller was both blind and deaf, so she can see it and hear what I'm trying to say. The 7 things that destroys relationships.
Okay, that's it for RiaTalk. Please leave your comments and your compliments below or on our Instagram account at RiaTalk. We're growing, guys. You can find this podcast on Spreaker, Spotify, or iHeartRadio podcast platforms. Just search for RiaTalk. Also, remember to like, follow, and subscribe to RiaTalk, and we will see you next week.